I don't do food in an ordinary way. I think food should be fun.
The door's great.
Oh my God, it's so good.
A delicious, spectacular adventure with every bite being a delight to the senses. I want to create meals unlike anything seen before.
Tonight, it's my fairy tale feast. I'm cooking up all my favourite fairy tales, from Cinderella to Hansel and Gretel.
Who wants a window? Me.
Who wants some drain pipe?
The Enchanted Forest, isn't it?
Yes. Wow.
Smell it, smell it, smell it.
Is that Little Red Riding Hood?
Oh yeah, look, mirror, mirror from what's that? Sleeping Beauty.
No. Yeah.
Which one is it?
Remember on the Waters of Fairies?
Yeah,
Yes.
Sleeping Beauty. Yeah.
On my menu tonight, a Cinderella pumpkin that's not all it seems, a Snow White story that you can eat, and a Hansel and Gretel edible house.
The most enchanted part of this fairy tale is the bit that everybody remembers, when the fairy godmother turns a pumpkin into a carriage. I've got to have that magic in my appetizer. So what better way to start than with one of these? This is a Cinderella pumpkin.
So, I made a smooth pumpkin puree for the base of my dish and added melon.
Now, to that, I'm going to add a langoustine. I need to add a tail into my fairy tale. So the nutty notes I'm going to get from frying these langoustines are going to work really well with the richness and the nutty characteristic of the pumpkin puree. When you think about Cinderella, that was really the Regency period. And what was in Cinderella is actually what happened. Princes, princesses, castles, carriages, balls, footmen, all of that. It was all about opulence. It was all about show of wealth.
For my guest then, a little extra bit of Regency excess, caviar. But as this fairy godfather knows, you can't have colouring magic without fairy dust.
So what I've got here is some dried pumpkin, some sesame seeds, and some gold powder. Break them up together, and you've got fairy dust. The only thing I need to do now is turn my pumpkin into a carriage.
And here it is. My origami fairies have conjured up an incendiary pumpkin carriage with my dish secreted away within.
Oh wow, look at this.
That's so magical. I feel like a princess.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, fairy godmother.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight you shall go to the ball.
Whoa.
I just hope you don't set fire to my guest's hair.
Whoa.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
Brilliant.
Whoa, that's
So
incredible.
fantastic.
It sets the tone for the feast. If you create that bit of magic at the beginning, hopefully my guests will be on their way.
Is that langoustine? What is that?
Looks like
That pumpkin puree is amazing.
That is amazing.
That is the whole thing's amazing.
What's that on top of the caviar?
Gold. There's gold.
That is gold.
There's gold. That is so good.
That's wonderful, isn't it?
The crunchy fairy dust. What is in that? What do fairies put in their dust?
That's a phrase I never thought I'd hear spoken.
The crunchy fairy dust.
The crunchy fairy dust. What's in it?
You can't have something based on Jack and the Beanstalk without a golden egg. So here's my golden egg recipe.
I'm adding chicken fat to white chocolate to make it savoury and very shiny.
So now the fat's been mixed in with the chocolate, I need to actually line the mould for the eggs.
After setting them, I put the two halves together.
So there is my white chocolate egg, but it's not finished yet. I've got to turn it into a golden egg.
I'm extravagantly dusting it with powdered gold leaf and edible shimmer.
I suppose what I'm trying to do is give my guests the same sort of magical, exciting feeling that I had as a kid when I remember being read Jack and the Beanstalk.
Now for my magic beans. I want to make my first one jet black. I'm making a squid ink and Madeira coating, reducing it to intensify the colour.
Okay, that's nicely gelled.
I dip the testicles and hey presto.
I want to do one other colour. So what I want here is red pepper juice that I've reduced down to make a really concentrated red pepper essence.
I'm also making a mini beanstalk salad from pea shoots and nestling my beans within.
So my guests will get the plate basically like this. The egg is hiding the magic beans. I want my guests to actually create that magic, reveal the beans. I'm going to serve them a white bean sauce that they're going to pour over the egg, and right in front of their eyes, the egg will melt, disappear, and you'll be left with this red and black magic bean.
So here's my Jack and the Beanstalk starter, replete with edible beanstalk and magic beans inside a golden egg. I picked a showstopper main by my Regency culinary hero, Chef Antoine Carême.
One of the most spectacular dishes of the whole Regency period has got to be Carême's stuffed boar's head. Now, this head was stuffed with whole turkey, udders, truffles, pistachios, and a load of other stuff. It was a totally mad dish. I have got to try and recreate this.
After scaring my female guests with my last course, I need this dish to be as delightful and delicious as possible.
When I left the Black Forest, I decided that I've got to somehow get the boar's head into the Snow White fairy tale. I was kind of racking my brains to see how on earth I could do this. And actually, the best way is to quite literally put the head into the fairy tale.
My dish is cleverly disguised as a Snow White storybook.
This is the plate. Divide it up into different parts of the head. So, for example, the ear is going to go here. The snout's going to go there.
I'm cooking each part separately, then surgically reconstructing my boar's head in a delicious way on this diagram.
So my guests are literally going to be eating a fairy tale.
I'm finally chopping the snout and I'm making a stuffing of minced turkey, marrowbone and sweetbreads.
Next, something very important, a Perigord truffle.
Now for some reconstructive surgery. I'm forming a sausage with the snout stuffing. I'm boiling it at 68 degrees for 30 minutes.
This is basically a very refined sausage.
Time for a bit of artistic license. I slice the sausage diagonally.
It's a snout, isn't it? And I don't think that's too grotesque.
Finally, I sprinkle on some white truffle and chives.
Right, I've done my nose job. I just need to get onto the other parts of the face now.
Real eyes are out, so I've decided to make an artificial eyeball with mayonnaise, gherkins and capers. Then I'm covering it with tiny slices of radish.
Unlike anything else that I do, it's actually quite time-consuming.
I'm carving a piece of truffle for the pupil. Here's my eye. It's time to put my deconstructed head back together again.
Here's the snout. I've done some bizarre dishes in my life, but this has got to be up there with the best of them.
The tongue has been seared and glazed.
You can tell it's a boar's head, but it's been done in a magical way. It's been done in a way that I don't think is going to put anybody off. So there it is, my Regency-inspired stuffed boar's head served in a Snow White fairy tale book.
There remains one final part of this story to make. I'm going to serve that Snow White classic, the Evil Queen's Poison Apple. Except mine are going to be safely made out of deliciously thin blown sugar. It's like the Evil Queen, my guests will be eating boar heart, but transformed into a mousse and piped inside my apples.
So there is my green and red apple. I really want to serve this up in a fairy tale way. So I'm thinking, mirror, mirror on the wall.
I hide my apples in a secret compartment behind my fairy tale mirror.
Oh, God. There's a key.
Oh,
This is a hammer. Mirror, mirror on the wall.
are you going to smash the mirror? Come on, come on.
It's a magic
Pretty
mirror.
bad luck to break a mirror.
Here it goes.
I was not expecting that.
There's 6 apples, red and green apples.
Right, I'm going to go for this one here because that. It's a Snow White, isn't it?
That's exquisite.
What the hell is that?
Just eat it. Can't go wrong.
That was mine.
Oh my God, that one. No.
Tell me it's apple.
It's like a liver mousse.
Oh my God, so good.
That is amazing.
I've never had boar's heart puree before, but that was just delicious.
I've discovered that I'll eat anything. Because I found out it was a boar's heart covered in sugar and I thought, delicious.
The highly skilled bakers here make everything from edible witches to sugar princesses.
Right, gents.
Hi, Heston. Hi, Heston. Pleased to meet you. The 4 corners are the most important. The middle bit could be light sponge, so long as the corners are a harder material like gingerbread.
We're going to start by building a wall with fruitcake bricks. Naturally, icing makes great cement.
Here's my highly professional fruitcake brick.
But just as I'm beginning to feel pleased with myself,
If you had the sides in gingerbread too, you could still line them with fruitcakes.
Now you're talking.
Bricks on the inside and the outside to hold.
It's like a cavity wall with the gingerbread.
Ginger cavity brick wall.
this is turning into a big job, Gov. Now we've only got to build a supporting gingerbread cavity wall.
Nice touch.
We need the level back. Some extra support beams here just in case.
Prototype's fine, but I want something on a larger, more extravagant scale.
I want to give a fairy tale feeling to my guests. That is building a house big enough to fit inside.
I want to make an edible house fit for the 21st century. And it's an engineering challenge as well as a culinary one.
I want to make this house with food that looks like real building materials. So real pieces of wood, real bricks, real glass.
I'm making stained glass windows out of boiled sweets.
The theory is they will all melt and form one even sheet of multicoloured glass. What I'd love to do is love to have my guests get so excited they start smashing through the windows and literally make them feel like naughty school kids.
I melt the sweets to form my edible glass.
So here we are, my stained glass window. But you can't put different pieces of glass together without lead.
My lead is piped white chocolate coloured grey.
And there is my lead-lined stained glass window.
4 walls will be a lickable labour of love.
I want to build them with bricks, but I don't want them to look like cake or pastry bricks. I want them to look like real bricks.
Into some red coloured chocolate, I mix popping candy, marshmallow and puffed rice.
Right, I now need to turn that into a brick, and for that, I need a brick mould.
To be strong, the brick needs to be densely packed.
Now, we cut out a couple of holes just to make it look a little bit more authentic.
I set it in the fridge.
So here is my edible brick.
Oi!
Boys, you're slacking.
Careful with that!
In a hidden corner of my forest, it's time to put my edible house together while the guests take a break.
These slate tiles are actually millionaire shortbread. That's caramel.
Now I'm installing my reinforced chocolate girders, but they needed some extra wooden supports.
This is moss, but it's a pistachio sponge with green tea. Hey, Jock, Foreman, you got the door? We've got a few minutes. I've got a blooming door on.
My door's made of aerated blocks of orange chocolate, welded together.
Ah, we've got something just to make this a bit more enticing, a bit more welcoming.
An edible doormat made of sponge, white chocolate and praline. So, here's my edible house, including shortbread tiles, marshmallow bricks, board sweep windows, chocolate drain pipes, and aerated chocolate doors.
Hang on, I'm taking a shortcut.
It's a house made entirely...
No. Surely not.
Oh, that is I've never smelled anything as good as that.
Is that edible?
Everything's edible.
Oh my God.
Who wants a window?
Me.
Who wants some drain pipe?
I found some cake on the mat.
The door is like a big arrow.
Is it? What are the bricks made of?
Brick, I'm going to eat a brick.
Doggy bags here.
Are you trying to break free? Are you the nasty witch that's going to eat us?
That is
Have you tried
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing.
That is very extreme eat-over. I'm going to have some ice cream out the window box. Yes, I like that.
It actually does sound like they're all on drugs now.
If I leave any of this, my mum will kill me.
All right, out of that whole thing.
That is amazing.
No, open your mouth. Come on, get the whole thing in.
I knew there'd be a Hansel and Gretel house, didn't I? I didn't quite expect it to be quite that size and actually entirely made of cake.